If you're someone over the age of 55 living in California, you've probably had moments recently where you stop and think, when did everything get this hard? Life here used to feel vibrant, manageable, and familiar. But now the cost of living climbs faster than anyone can adjust to. Rent rises even when your income doesn't. Medical bills stack up like a quiet threat. Scams that target older adults have grown so advanced that even the most cautious person can be fooled. And stepping outside, whether to the store or to a doctor's appointment, requires more awareness than ever. California was once seen as the dream place to retire, a peaceful setting to finally slow down. But for many older adults today, each month feels like a fresh challenge you're forced to solve all over again. And while everyone is busy trying to manage their own situation, a wave of new laws has quietly taken effect. Laws that touch the daily lives of seniors more directly than any other age group, laws that affect your housing, medical care, privacy, personal safety, online protection, and even the way you're shielded from modern technology misuse. That's why the new California changes coming through 2025 and into 2026 aren't just new rules. They're updates that may shape your stability, health, and peace of mind for years ahead. One of the most deeply felt areas of change is housing. If you've ever opened a rent notice or letter from your landlord and felt your stomach tighten, you're not alone. That brief second of panic, wondering if the rent is going up again or if they're trying to push you out, is something countless older Californians experience every single month. And the older you get, the heavier that fear becomes. Because you're no longer just worried about finding another place to sleep, you're worried about losing the one space that still feels safe, familiar, and yours. No one in their 60s or 70s wants to box up their life and move into uncertainty. No one wants to be forced out, couch surf, or stand in line at a shelter. But in a state where rent rises far faster than Social Security benefits, seniors have been living too close to the edge for far too long. That's why California's new renter protections matter more than most people realize. The updated security deposit limits, stronger just cause eviction rules, and extended response times for eviction notices are placing a bit of the power back into the hands of renters, especially older adults who have spent years dealing with unfair treatment. The limit on security deposits, for example, may seem minor on paper, but it changes everything for someone living on a fixed income. For decades, seniors were told they needed 2 or sometimes even 3 months of rent up front just to move in thousands of dollars most people living on retirement incomes simply don't have. It traps seniors in unsafe or overpriced apartments because they financially could not move elsewhere. Now, with the deposit capped at 1 month of rent for an unfurnished unit, doors that were once impossible to open are finally within reach. A widow wanting to move closer to her family or someone wanting to relocate near their medical provider now has real options. And the new eviction protections make it harder for landlords to push out seniors under false pretenses, something that has happened far too often. For older renters who have spent years being intimidated by sudden notices or unfair threats, this law feels like someone finally stepped between them and a life-changing loss. Even the extension from 5 to 10 days for responding to eviction notices matters more than most people understand. When you're older, dealing with medical appointments, mobility issues, or lack of transportation, 5 days can disappear instantly. 10 days offers dignity, time to gather documents, seek help, talk to your family, or simply catch your breath before panic takes over. The truth is, many seniors still don't know these protections exist. Some are still scraping together money for deposits the law no longer allows. Others are trembling over eviction notices without realizing they now have extra time. And far too many remain silent out of fear, not realizing that these laws were built specifically to give them a voice and help them stay in their homes. Knowing your rights now, before new leases or rent increases arrive, can be the difference between losing stability and keeping the life you've built. Because keeping your home isn't just about avoiding another bill, it's about holding on to peace, routine, and control in a world that often feels like it's drifting out of your hands. There's also the expansion of accessory dwelling units (ADUs), which is quietly reshaping the future of housing for older adults. If you've ever sat at your kitchen table, looking around the home where you raised children, and wondered how much longer you can afford to stay, you're not alone. So many older homeowners face the same emotional crossroads. The home is full of memories, but the expenses grow heavier every year. The thought of moving into an unfamiliar apartment or navigating the chaotic California rental market feels overwhelming. The new ADU changes, allowing more units on a single property than ever before, give older adults options they never had. These aren't just backyard units, they can be lifelines. A small cottage behind your daughter's home, a studio next door to your son, a one-bedroom space just a few steps from your grandchildren. ADUs keep families close in a state where distance is the norm. They let seniors downsize without losing independence. They allow aging adults to live near family without feeling like a burden. And for older homeowners struggling with rising property taxes or home repairs they can no longer physically handle, the ability to build a small unit and rent it out can provide much needed income. That money can help pay for medications, medical bills, or essential living expenses. For seniors without family nearby, communities of ADUs can create small networks of older adults who live near one another, share meals, check in on each other, and reduce the loneliness that has become an epidemic among aging Californians. ADUs aren't just structures, they are choices, freedom, and support in a state that desperately needs more affordable ways for people to age safely and with dignity. If this information is helping you understand these changes more clearly, take a moment to subscribe to TaxHack Pro so you never miss important updates that could protect your future. Medical and mental health expansions are another area that will deeply affect seniors. Many older adults know too well the quiet fear you feel before opening a medical bill, silently hoping it won't be something that breaks your budget. Healthcare in California is expensive, complicated, and unpredictable. For seniors relying on Social Security, savings, or limited pensions, every refill, every scan, and every appointment feels like financial risk. That's why the new expansions matter. The broadened eligibility for medical additional coverage for treatments previously out of reach and new requirements for insurers to cover more mental health conditions are steps toward reducing those fears. These updates may look like paperwork to younger people, but to an older adult choosing between prescriptions and groceries, they can mean survival. The mental health expansions are especially meaningful. Older adults face enormous emotional burdens, loss of loved ones, financial stress, health challenges, loneliness. Therapy and mental health support have long been considered luxuries. Now they are becoming accessible care. Even the broader insurance requirements, such as expanded coverage categories starting July 2025, strengthen the entire healthcare infrastructure. When insurance companies are required to do more, medical becomes more stable, and seniors feel the benefits. California's healthcare system is still far from perfect, but these changes shift the balance slightly in favor of older adults who depend on consistent, reliable care. You may not feel the changes overnight, but over time, they will reduce the risks you've carried for years. Many older adults in California also remain part of the workforce, not because they want to, but because the rising cost of living forces them to. Waking up early, working long hours, or holding multiple small jobs becomes the only way to stay afloat. That's why the new labor protections matter so much. A small increase in minimum wage may look like very little to younger workers, but to an older adult working part-time at a store or cleaning homes, it can mean the difference between affording medication or skipping it. Freelancers and independent workers, many of whom are seniors providing childcare, repair work, or home services, now have better protections ensuring they're paid fairly and on time. Seniors who care for grandchildren or help family through emergencies are no longer required to drain their vacation days before receiving paid family leave. Safety improvements for domestic workers, many of whom are older adults, create more secure workplaces. And for those who have faced discrimination based on age or a combination of factors, the law now recognizes and protects them more clearly. These aren't luxury changes. They're lifelines for seniors who still work because life has given them no choice. Scams and fraudulent practices targeting older adults have also become more sophisticated than ever. Many seniors have experienced mystery charges, confusing subscriptions, or fake online listings that cost them money they couldn't afford to lose. That's why new laws cracking down on hidden cancellation tactics, online marketplace scams, and predatory subscription practices will make a real difference. Seniors can now cancel subscriptions as easily as they sign up. Online marketplaces must crack down on stolen or suspicious goods. And medical debt, one of the biggest reasons seniors fall into financial crisis, can no longer destroy credit scores. Even food safety laws banning harmful additives matter because seniors shouldn't have to decipher complex ingredient lists to eat safely. The digital world moves fast, but with these updates, older adults have new layers of protection behind them. Public safety laws also play a major role in creating a safer environment for seniors. More accountability for car break-ins, stronger tools to combat organized retail theft, mental health-focused reforms for offenders, stricter rules on gun carry. These changes help protect older adults who can't physically escape danger. Seniors often feel the impact of crime more deeply than other groups. When a window is smashed, when a store is robbed, when a neighborhood changes, older adults feel the instability immediately. These laws aim to close loopholes, hold criminals accountable, and create safer public spaces, libraries, hospitals, and government buildings that older adults rely on every day. Privacy protections for immigrant seniors add another crucial layer of safety. Many older immigrants live with a constant, quiet fear that their personal information could be shared without their knowledge. Whether at a hospital, school, or public office, the worry of being misunderstood or flagged feels real. New laws now prevent institutions from sharing personal data with federal authorities without legitimate cause. Seniors can receive care, visit schools, and access services without needless fear. Transparency rules for law enforcement also support this trust. These changes tell immigrant seniors clearly: your privacy matters, and the state is taking steps to protect it. AI deepfake laws are becoming essential as technology evolves. Older adults are disproportionately targeted by scams using AI-generated voices or videos. A phone call that sounds exactly like a family member, a video that appears frighteningly real, just one moment of confusion can cost a senior their savings. New laws prohibit companies and individuals from using someone's likeness, voice, or image without clear permission even after they've passed away. These protections aren't just for celebrities, they're for everyday seniors who are vulnerable to manipulation. In a world where technology can blur the line between real and fake, these laws act as a shield. Transportation and environmental safety updates may look small, but they have enormous impact on older adults' daily lives. Cars can no longer park dangerously close to crosswalks, giving seniors clearer visibility and safer walking conditions. Faster movement of emergency vehicles through toll areas means quicker help when seconds matter. Stronger regulations on underground storage tanks help protect water quality, something seniors rely on heavily for medication, cooking, and staying healthy. These small changes add up to a safer and more predictable environment. Finally, several everyday quality of life improvements aim to make seniors live smoother and safer. Cannabis cafes, overseen by strict regulations, offer older adults who use cannabis for pain a safer, more controlled environment. Increased oversight on drug pricing helps lower unpredictable prescription costs. Remote court hearings ensure older adults with mobility issues aren't forced to appear in person. And simple additions like requiring drink lids in bars reduce risks that no older adult should have to worry about. When you step back and look at all these changes, from housing to healthcare, safety to technology, privacy to daily convenience, it becomes clear that California is shifting in ways that affect seniors more than anyone else. At this stage of life, you don't need more complications. You deserve clarity, protection, and the comfort of knowing the law is actually moving in your direction. If this long, detailed breakdown helped you understand your rights and the changes coming your way, take a moment to like this video and subscribe to TaxHack Pro so you never miss updates that could help make your later years safer, calmer, and more secure. Thank you for watching until the end, and feel free to explore other important videos now appearing on your screen.